champion trainer Gary Hall Senior. Gary, a busy night for you on Friday night at Gloucester Park. 4 runners in the $125,000 Group 1 4-year-old classic. So Think About Me, drawn 2. Ben Hope Rules, drawn 3. King of Swing out at barrier 8, but Ideal Liner drawn the inside of the back line. So 4 runners, but you clash with some very good 4-year-olds.
Yeah, it's a great race. It's probably one of the strongest nuggets I've seen, and Anna Malik's a very good horse. I was looking at buying him myself, and Bonnie beat me to the punch there, and now he's beat me at the barrier draw. So, I think it'll be very hard to beat Anna Malik. I'm pretty happy with Ideal Liner's draw because he's an inexperienced horse and he'll relish just sitting behind him and having one crack at him. You would hope there would be a bit of pace on in the race and a bit of pressure, but I just don't know whether I can see it there with Better Aim's not going to put pressure on the stablemate drawing 1, I wouldn't imagine. And, Jack Mack's drawn a bit wide. And so it might be a race where Anna Malik sort of gets away with a bit. And that would be hard for anyone to beat him then. It
is a super field, but I think in these big races, rich races, there's generally someone that's going to go mad early and that could put pressure on the pacemaker Anna Malik. And that'll bring Ideal Liner right into play because you must have been happy with Ideal Liner's first 2 wins for you.
Yeah, well, he beat Steph's Best, who's a serious horse, and he's a nice horse, but it worries me that he's so inexperienced, Ken. So, but ability-wise, he's right up to the best horses, some of the best horses I've had. But it's a hard race to win against experienced horses.
And King of Swing, the Derby winner of last season, he's drawn out at barrier 8 and no luck at all last week when he hit a wheel when he was making a forward move in the back straight last week and knocked himself out of contention. But he's got quality on his side from barrier 8. Where's he going to finish up?
Good question. Who's going to drive him? Junior hasn't made his decision yet who's driving him. So King of Swing, his form looks terrible, but I don't think I've ever had a horse that's been more unlucky lately than him. And his form was really good. I even put him in the free fall and he got beat ahead by Modu Premier, and he relishes the distance and he'll go good. I'm sure he's going well, and I was confident he would have won last week because they only ran home in 28.7 and he was travelling, so I think he would have been very hard to beat, but we'll never know.
Well, one of your 4 runners in the 4-year-old classic, Ben Hope Rules, has drawn barrier 3. I thought he was a huge winning chance when he got knocked rotten about to turn for home last week.
Yeah, he was. He was, Junior driven him well and got up behind Tyler Brett, and who was tackling the eventual winner. And he was travelling real well, and Junior only had to pull out in the straight. And I'm sure he would have been placed, and he was travelling that well. I think he would have gone very close to winning. Yep.
And Think About Me, drawn barrier 2, and where do you think he's going to finish up?
Well, he's not over quick out. He's reasonable, but he's a little bit of a lazy type of horse. And I don't know whether the draw really suits him that well. He could get back a bit in running, I think. So but he'll need to try and go for the rail at some stage, I think, and that'll be his best chance of earning.
It's certainly a great field with Anna Malik from the powerful Bond stable. His stablemate in Better Aim, and another stablemate in the race in Mighty Conqueror, all in magnificent form. And then the Mike Reed stable has got a couple of runners in Golden State and Beecher's Brook. So, and Steph's Best also very impressive in winning at his last 3. So it's a tremendous race.
Yeah, it is. Ideal Liner did beat Steph's Best first up, and I thought came from well back in the field 3 wide at the bell. So I think. Ideal Liner measures up well there. But I just think, on exposed form, King of Swing being the exception because he hasn't had any luck, I think that the Anna Malik, Better Aim, Mighty Conqueror and Jack Mack, they're all the major role players, and hopefully we can sit on them and snipe them.
Yes, well, good luck on that. You start off in the first event with Scotland Beach, drawn nicely at barrier 10, the inside of the back, and I thought his was a good, solid fighting effort last week, Scotland Beach.
Yeah, he's just a just a nice, handy horse, and he just always in the money and always thereabouts, and that's what he does. And from that draw, that I don't think anything's going to change here. He should probably be on the fence behind the leader. I would imagine Da Vinci Diamond would lead. It tried to lead last start, and he may be a winning chance if he can get a clear run, but more a place chance, I believe.
And Gary, you must be delighted with the form of Kamani since he's come back after a long absence. He's had 4 starts in this campaign for 3 seconds and a win, and he's drawn barrier 10 on the inside of the back line in race 2. And the horse that's drawn 1 is the veteran Soki's Big Bullet. He looks a certain leader, and Kamani looks certain to be on his back. And it's a 25-36 metre event.
Yeah, what do you reckon is going to happen?
Well, I'm sure Soki's Big Bullet is going to lead and bowl along in front. The pace is going to be on, and I think...
If that's the case, I think Kamani has to be definite each-way chance and sitting on Soki's Big Bullet, and hopefully, he doesn't get boxed for a run, but if he gets a clear run... I thought his run last week was really quite good. He got to the line very good after doing a bit of work to lead, and then getting caught in front there and got crossed, and when he got out he did make real good ground. So I think the horse is at peak form and at his best form at the moment, so I believe he's an each way chance forever.
Then in race 3 on the program, a 1730 metre sprint, Let's Cut Loose, who's having his first start for your stable. He won twice as a 2 and 3 year old in New Zealand. He won 12 races in New South Wales. He's now with you. He's a half-brother to Whose Idea Was This, who had 20 starts for you, Gary, here at Gloucester Park for 7 wins, 7 seconds and a third. So Whose Idea Was This? Certainly a wonderful horse for you. His half-brother's here. Let's Cut Loose. He's drawn barrier 6 at his WA debut.
Yeah, it surprised me when you said he was a half-brother. I didn't know that. Kevin Pizzuto sent them over to me, and I didn't realise he was a half-brother.
Also related to Matt Namara's band, who was no slouch.
Yeah, I had him as well. And, yeah, he was a nice horse. It was a bit disappointing at times, but he had ability. And Let's Cut Loose has got ability. He doesn't show you much at home. He's a little bit of a laid-back, lazy type of horse, and nothing like Whose Idea as a horse. So I'm not sure what to expect from him over the short distance, drawn a little bit wide. So I'm hoping he can figure prominently.
And you've got another runner in that race in Campora, another barrier 10. So in the first 3 races, you've got 3 horses drawn the inside of the back line in Campora. That'll suit him. Yeah,
most races I'd like to draw 1 or 10, Ken. I think that, especially if the one's the leader. So Campora, what's the one? Possible leader too, Jackson Feller, I'm not sure, but might try to lead in that race because it's not over strong. So I definitely reckon Campora is a place chance from there.
And Gary, talking about not over strong horses, you've got one in your stable in Luis Alberto. He's drawn barrier 8 out wide in the 21-30 metre race 10 on the program, so he faces a bit of a task.
Yeah, poor old Lewis. He drew wide last start and he ran second. I didn't think it was a bad run, but he doesn't like to find the line. I don't know whether he's weak as such. I think he just doesn't try that hard. But he's, it's not a strong race. So
no, it's not.
Having a look at it, you'd have to say, probably all the Whispers might lead and be hard to beat. But I think he's probably got the job ahead of him. Yeah.
So. I think all roads will be leading to Gloucester Park on Friday night for this big $125,000 4-year-old classic. 4 runners, Gary. Fingers crossed and good luck.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ken. It's going to be a great race no matter what happens. I think it's really a race of chock full of interest.
Lovely. Thanks
mate. See you.